Hey everyone, it is Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. Today we're going to create a nice spring design with the super cute rain boots. We brought that in our ribbon actually. So cute. Y'all, this started off as a wreath kit that we offered. This will be the instructional video. However, if you didn't purchase the kit, it's totally okay. I bet you'll learn some things along the way and enjoy the design. Today we're going to be using our 14-inch patent pending pancake wreath frame. It does come with a 10-inch frame and the sign extender as well. They come kind of tacked together, so just pull those apart there. It'll just be fine. I'm going to set these aside for a different day. One thing I want to mention is if you've purchased our kits, there is one video on our YouTube channel that is all about cutting instructions for a general kit. It happens to be an Easter kit that I use as the demo, but how to identify what your tails are, what your bow is, how to cut your mesh in ways to help from fraying, how to prep your sign, all those things can be found in that video. I highly recommend, again, I know that it's an Easter video, but I highly recommend that'll all apply to this design as well. So again, we're going to be using our 14-inch frame. I'm going to set these aside here, and we're going to start with our pipe cleaners. I believe yours may have come with white. I think, I'm not sure, but we're going to use these tan ones just because honestly, you're not going to see them in the long run, so it doesn't really matter what color you're using. So I'm going to start with the pipe cleaners that are going to go in the hole in the matching notch. Okay, so our kit comes with the frame, it comes with the pipe cleaners, it comes with the sign, ribbon for tails, ribbon for our bow, and a full roll of mesh. I've already pre-cut all of that stuff so that this video goes a little bit quicker. One tip I do want to point out to you is that when I put these pipe cleaners in, I am making sure that I'm twisting them right on the frame, but kind of toward the notch. So the outside will be closest to the outside notch, and the inside will be closest to the inside notch. And that's just going to help us in the very end steps to make sure we are seeing our layers nicely, very distinctly. We're going to do everything we can to kind of separate those so we can showcase both layers that we're putting in. Also, I see here a little piece of wood that came out. Now, you might get, since this is cut on a laser, you might get a frame that has this kind of just stuck in there still. Okay, that one just popped out all by itself, but sometimes you might have to push I usually use my scissors and just poke them through. Again, they're cut with a laser, and so that might sometimes, every once in a while, I get one that's still stuck in there. Okay, so we're almost done. Nice and easy and budget friendly with our 12 twist tie recipe here. Again, the mesh is already cut, so I'm going to go quickly with that as well. I'm going to set aside what we have left. I'm not going to use it for this in this case. Again, watch the cutting instructions to know the first 6 pieces I just cut off and I'm going to use for the outside of this frame, and the next set of 6 I'm going to use for the inside. So I have this is what's left. You could actually use it for the 10-inch frame, but if you want to use the 10-inch frame also, I'd recommend using that first layer, those first 6 cuts. Again, just watch that video. It'll oops, no, I don't want to take that off yet. It'll help help you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to go in with our mesh 20 inches long. We're just going to ruffle right up that center, right up the center. Now, I love the border mesh because the part of the mesh that you see in the wreath is really just the border. And so this is perfect for our design. Oh, I put that one in wrong. Okay. Crisscross, twist, twist, overlap here, overlap the top, take those and kind of flip them inside out. So it stays round, sort of round, but flat like a pancake. I see I twisted that at the wrong spot, so I'm going to make sure I retwist that. And this one too, what was I thinking? Whoopsie. I was just talking about it, and I totally did differently. Okay. All right, so again, mesh is going to go right up the center. I'm going to ruffle all the way up. I don't want to just grab the rest of the piece, the rest of the curl here, so I'm going to make sure I'm ruffling all the way up. Okay, pinch, go right down on top. I know I'm moving, it looks like I'm going in sideways, but really when I get there, I am going right in on top. I'm just kind of coming in on an angle so I can move these pieces, those pipe cleaners, out of the way so it doesn't just slide right through the inside of that ruffle. Overlap here, tuck in, flip inside out. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Just do that same thing all the way around. We're going to work on fully completing those outside 6 pipe cleaners first. Okay, so that our inner layer doesn't interfere with our timing and our design. The idea is you want to be able to put this mesh in here, fix it to how you want it to be, overlap here, overlap, kind of untuck those, twist them, flip them inside out so that they stay how you want them, and then don't touch it. Move on to the next one. Okay, the more you touch it, the more you play with it, the more it's going to fray. And you know, it is a woven material, as I talked about in the cutting instruction video, and so it's going to fray, it's going to unravel. Your job is to stop it at this point and then conceal what is already done. And then typically you're not going to see it, you know, keep fraying at once you're at this point. It isn't going to kind of continue. If you play with the mesh, continue. If you're continuously, you know, if you take it apart and try to do it over again, well then yeah, it's going to get pretty yucky. So what I might suggest is, if you've never made a wreath before and this kit was your first wreath attempt, right? Awesome. I totally love that. That's super, like, a huge honor for me being our kit. What I would suggest is cutting an extra piece off of that roll and practicing. So before you actually get to the ruffle that's going to go in your wreath, you guys, I almost said before you get to the Super Bowl. I had lions on the brain there. Before you actually get to your piece here, you know, practice once. Even if you're not going to use the rest of it, practice twice. Therefore, you kind of really get the feel for it. Once you ruffle this and then unruffle it to use it again or to try again or practice, it definitely can feel the storm that you just unleashed on it. So I would say one time practice would be okay, but then after you get into that second time and you release it and then you ruffle it again, it's going to start to really, you know, just not look fantastic. So keep it to a minimum. Even if you have to cut the rest of that roll to practice, I'm totally down for that. Okay, right on top. And then we're going to come in. So for this design, I went with 3 ribbons just because I could not leave one out. I just had to have all of them. I love the polka dots, of course, those rain boots, those so cute. And then I really like the solid in there to kind of hold it all together and give the patterns a little break. So I went with all, I'm going to set this aside for just a couple minutes because it's getting in my way. So I'm with all 3 and I totally love them. Look at that. Okay. Totally love it. All right. So we're going to take our 3. I did cut them 14 inches long. I did dovetail the ends. Again, I went over that in the cutting instruction video. just to make this video shorter, I did do a general video of all the cutting. So I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to put all of our pieces in first before I start spreading things out and putting them where I want them to be. So I ruffled up that center, kind of formed it so it's all facing out towards me. I want all those ends to be out facing towards me. Put it right in there, and then twist that pipe cleaner about 6 or 7 times, 7 or 8 times. Usually I just try to make it about an inch of twisting, so that when I come in there and really spread those ribbons apart and put them where I want to, that pipe cleaner isn't going to come apart, right? It's not going to untwist. So I kind of trust myself at 6 or 7 twists, right? And then also, I'm telling you just another trick that I use. This ribbon actually right here that I'm putting in, the top of that ribbon was spliced. And if you don't know what that is, I hope you don't have to. But sometimes the manufacturer gets the roll, the spool, the roll, the 10-yard roll, 50-yard roll, whatever it is. It cuts off in the machine. There wasn't enough material in it. And so what they do is they glue it to the next piece and then keep going. So sometimes, okay, when it's like this piece of mesh that's going to go here on this piece is going to cover that, okay? So I'm okay with that staying in there. You know, I didn't want to waste the piece. I didn't want to be short the piece. And so I totally and absolutely use it. I just put it in on the bottom. That happens a lot with me when I'm doing kits. I end up keeping those pieces so that y'all don't have to get them, and I use them. But even if I wasn't doing the kit, I do use it like that. As long as I can conceal that piece, or it's even better if it's right in the center, right? If it's right in that center, and I can make sure it's, you know, the whole thing is getting in there, then I for sure use that, or, you know, keep it. I just don't want to waste anything, right? I don't want to be like, oh, I can't use that for tails. So the next thing I'm going to do is take our wire cutter, go around and cut off the excess, just because, not that I have to, but I just don't need it. So if I don't need it, I'm going to try to get rid of it. And then what I do here is a couple of things. I'm going to push this in and push straight down, kind of scrunching it and tightening it all together. And then I'm going to make sure I go through. We're going to keep the same pattern going all the way around. So I'm going to go polka dot, lavender, boots, polka dot, lavender, boots. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I pull all those out, all facing towards me, so that in the end, when I let go, they're hopefully doing what I want them to do, not what they want to do. Now, I'll do this and then leave it. Then don't touch it. Okay? And I'll come back to it and place it, because they're going to end up all over the place. I'll come back to it and place it where I really want it to end up and stay at the very end. So if I didn't do that, if I just played with them every time they moved, then I would spend all my time moving our ribbons back in place. So what I do is I get them in place right now, and then don't touch them. Go on to the next. As long as I know I've pulled them apart up and down to kind of separate them right here, pull them apart up and down, and pull them apart side to side, I know that in the end, I can just adjust them a little bit, and hopefully then they'll stay where I need or want them to. Okay. You've paid for all those ribbons. You want to make sure that you can see them all on purpose. I love the 3 ribbons. They look so cute, nice and flowy. Again, as long as I get them in place right now. Now, nothing you see is going on the inside, because everything on the inside is going to end up covered up. So I want to make sure everything comes out to the outside as best as I possibly can. because if it ends up on the inside, the next layer of mesh is going to cover it up, and the ribbons are going to cover it up, the sign, the bow, all that stuff. So I want everything out, facing out towards that edge. It always catches on my watch. That's fun. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do the same exact thing on the inner piece. Oopsie. Just move these pieces because I already have them cut. I'm going to move these pieces over here so I can take that off so it doesn't get annoying anymore. Okay, and then roll it up and do the same exact ensemble on those inner pipe cleaners. Go right on top. It is going to go over the top of those ribbons on the outside, just slightly. It's okay. Remember, we tied our pipe cleaners in a certain spot. It's going to help our layers in the end. And then we have one extra little secret thing that we do at the very end of this ensemble to help really separate. So stay tuned for that so you can see. If you haven't seen me do it yet, it really is just a little detail, but it totally does help. Adding that right in there. This border mesh is so cute with all the purple and the pink. It's so pretty. Nice and bright and cheerful. Those polka dots do a lot of work in the design aspect. See, again, you just try to go play with those. You just don't play with them because they're going to keep moving. I know better. They're going to keep moving, so we got to just keep moving. Ruffle all the way up. Ruffle, 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 ruffle. Overlap, overlap. Turn those inside out to keep them where I want them to stay and move on. So this does get a little boring because, you know, you're doing the same exact thing over and over again. But the outcome with the layers looks so pretty. Now, at this point, I'm really doing a huge step in the design. This layer of mesh that overlaps, not only does it overlap each other itself, but it overlaps each other, really starts to fill in and cover up that frame. Now, if you haven't heard me say it before, I'll say it again. Some of you are probably sick of hearing me say it. The frame is our patent pending frame. It is based on my Pancake Wreath design with the 12 twist ties, etc. So no one is going to like this frame. No one wants to see this frame more than I do. I'm sure even Damon, who is the co-inventor on the frame, mostly his idea actually for the frame itself. Even he, I'm sure, you know, doesn't love the frame as much as I do. It's so great for this recipe. It's so great for so many things. I heavily pride myself on a budget-friendly base, and this 12 twist tie recipe is huge for keeping the base, even in the pancake style and in bigger wreaths all around. It is huge for keeping a budget-friendly base. I totally and absolutely love it. But your customer, they're not going to want to see the base. even you, if you bought this kit for yourself and you're hanging it on your front door, you don't want to see the base. You just want to see all the pretty, fun stuff that goes into the wreath. And that's fine. I love you for that. So we're going to do a good job of trying to hide that base for you. So we're going in again, I'm not touching my ribbons. I'm not going to place them in place, put them in place until I have everything ready. We're going to go right on top with our next layer. Again, we have one last special thing that we're going to do when we cut this off to help keep those layers distinct from one another. So 2 things I see y'all doing when you send me text messages and you're like, hey, mine doesn't look like yours. By the way, if you go to learnfrommelissa.com, you can put in your email address there, and once you get to the next screen, click on the button there, and it'll bring you to a list of things, a list of buttons that can help you. Our phone number is there. Of course, that'll already add you to our email address. There'll be a list of a whole bunch of resources that can help you. Free videos and a list of our favorite suppliers, a list of our favorite tools, links to some of our favorite free tutorials. So learnfrommelissa.com, that's where you can find that. But when you text me and you say, you know, mine doesn't look like yours, 2 things. 1, it's because you didn't follow a pattern and you have your polka dots touching each other. I'll go over that in just a second. Or 2, you've not made a distinct difference between the layers. And so one layer is sitting right on top of the other one, basically. And so we don't want that to happen. We do want that to be a separation there, purposefully different. So here we go. We're going to pick up our wire cutters again for the second time. Just saving a little time instead of picking it up 12 times. So we're going to pick it up twice instead. Now here's the part, okay? Here's the part that you want to make sure you're doing. All right? Everything looks beautiful. Everything looks great. The layers are nice here. You see, nice layer. I'm going to make it just a little bit more distinct. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this, instead of just going down, I'm going to push it in. Okay? So now I just pull that in just a little bit more even. And then I'm going to still keep our pattern the same as below. Polka dot, purple, rain boots. Polka dot, purple, rain boots. Be patient with it. Go back to it and put it where you want it. Now, how stinking cute is that on those layers? So cute. Those rain boots are so cute. So, pull it apart and side to side. Pull it apart and side to side. Making sure that those have come apart. Again, when you ruffle those up together and pleat them, whatever you want to call it, they all kind of get married, and they all stay together. So we want to separate them. Okay, everybody needs their space a little bit, right? Everybody needs their space. Just a little bit. I'm not saying get divorced. I'm just giving you your space. Right? There we go. But keeping every single thing coming out towards me. Those polka dots make it so fresh and so fun. Apart, side to side. Apart, side to side. It's like a nice big sunburst, right? With all the dovetails coming out to the edge. Push it in. Apart, side to side. Y'all, if you have not subscribed yet, please make sure that you're subscribing and following and liking and all those things so that you can see us again. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I'm honored that you're watching again. Hope that means I'm helping you. And if I haven't been able to help, if you have questions, make sure you're either leaving your comments here or texting us so that we don't miss your comments. A lot of times you guys think I see every single comment. I wish I did, and I see a lot of them. I do. I see a whole lot, but I don't see them all. Okay? All right. Three ribbons does make it very busy in here. It's okay. I totally love it, and we're going to totally go with it. So last couple things, we're going to add our pipe cleaners to the back of our sign. I'm just going to slide that in. Now again, I've already prepped it. You can see the cutting instructions video for that preparation. I added a little bit of glue here to the back of our zip tie mounts. And then of course it's going to be able to go. I want to make sure I'm placing it where I'm covering 4 pipe cleaners. Look at how stinking cute that y'all can't tell me any different. That's adorable. That's so cute. And then I took the butterflies from the sign and I brought them in with, oh, so cute. I can't, it's so cute. It's so cute. Okay. So we have the same bow recipe that I almost always use. Okay, 7 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. 7 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. If you follow me, you know I have carpal tunnel, so I like to use our Easy Bow Maker to hold the layers in between. 7 inches on the tail, 6 inches on the loop. It's just the way it goes. Pinch. Pull it apart. Twist. Loop. Pinch. Twist. Loop. So cute. Pinch. And twist. This bow has 2 tails on one side, 2 loops on the other side, and every time we go put another layer in, we're gonna swap the sides of the 2 loops. Okay, so the next one will be on this side. Also, your ribbon comes and it's kind of wrapped like that, but it's wired ribbon, so when it has a kink in that, like that, all you gotta do is smooth it out. We send our ribbon wrapped in that way. Again, knowing that it is wired and it'll pop back into place. Okay, I'm going a little bit smaller every time, a little bit. Whether a little bit to you means 1/4 of an inch, whether that means 1/2 of an inch, whether that means a whole inch. That's up to you. I'm going a little bit smaller. So I'm going about the width of my finger, which is about half an inch smaller. Okay. So same thing, pinch, pull it apart, twist, loop, pinch, twist, loop, pinch, twist. This is a good ribbon. And then I'm going to put them opposite. Remember, here's the 2 loops. I'm going to put them opposite. Going to go on the other side. Just going to put these in place really quick, so that it's kind of taking its shape before we take it off there and put it in our twist tie. Shorten these up just a little bit because it's close to me and getting annoying. There we go. I think I cut that one too short. It's all right. Coming in with the stripes. Nice, fun, bright colors. Again, keeping that springy color vibe from the wreath all the way through in the bow. So again, you're not going to see, I typically, now that rule breaks sometimes, but typically I don't like to use the same ribbon in the bow as I just put in the tails. So I'll use the same colors. I might even use the same pattern, different width ribbon. So if I use a 2.5 inch in the tails, I might use a 1.5 inch in the bow sometimes. Okay, not all the time. But otherwise, I'm using different patterns on purpose. So I just like the bow to really stand out and be something very different, set aside from the rest. And this ribbon with the blue and the butterflies, adorable. Let's see, this. This side's going to end up with a 2. Okay. Just wanted to see how that was going to work out. All right, I'm starting with my, again, this is going to end up about 3 inches long. So the first layer here on the top, so this is the top layer, last layer of my bow. The top layer is going to end up with a 3-inch loop, and then again, still 2 you know what I mean? 2 regular size loops. Pinch, twist. Now, perfect measuring here. 2 loops are here, 2 loops are here, goes opposite. Okay, I'm just going to snip that off before it goes in. Snip this off before it goes in. Perfect. And then I'm going to set that aside, set this aside, set this up. This is going to go here, and this is going to go there. I kind of have it all kind of in place before I lift it up. All right, taking my pipe cleaner. Sorry, I need to get these all out of the way so I can get to what I need to get to. Taking my last pipe cleaner and just lifting it up right from, so I'm going to push it down and then lift it up. So I push it down, make sure it all kind of scrunches together. Hold on both sides, both top and bottom. See my pipe cleaner? Now, when I'm making bows and wreaths for myself, I do use a zip tie. Just because my hands, super bad carpal tunnel, so it helps my hands. It helps my hands. So sometimes you might see me and I might be using something different. Okay, I'm going to fluff that bow out again since I just totally crushed it. That's okay. I'm going to make sure my tails and ribbons are going in between all where they need to be going. Perfection. There we go. Got a little confused there for a second. There we go. Okay, so now I'm good to go. Oh, this is really cute. I'm going to add in these are all so, the last several have been so cute. I want to make sure I'm hiding 4 pipe cleaners. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that my bow only has to hide 2. Okay? So I'm going to take my 4, hide them just like that. So I'm going to bring my sign up a little bit. And then I'm going to take those pipe cleaners and kind of weave them right through the mesh and wrap them around the frame. So through the mesh and wrap it around the frame. So now you see why my hands are, I'm going to try to avoid playing with the ribbons along the way because I knew we were gonna end up really messing and ruffling those ribbon tails, and I'd be playing with them all over again. So I'm gonna wrap it around the frame, just like I did here. Okay, going in. In and through that mesh. Both pieces. Sometimes I don't like to I like to attach one side without the other one being in place, but this one I feel like was good. That sign with those little boots is so cute. Now you see extra holes here. That could be like if my pipe cleaner wasn't long enough and my sign was close, I could pull my sign pipe cleaners through there and then just wrap it around that little tiny bit instead of wrapping it around the whole base. But look, we're nice and tight. The sign isn't moving. That's what we want to make sure. Okay, and then our bow, so the longest part of our bow was that first layer. The first layer that had the floral print, and that tail was the first layer and the longest layer. I want those to come off the wreath this way. And we're okay here with that welcome. So this is so cute. This was really cute. You know, sometimes it takes, not that I didn't like all the ribbons, but that the different colors in the bow really brought out those boots. It's so cute. Okay. Now we'll place that, make sure it's secure. I'm doing to the bow just like I did the sign. I'm just doing it up underneath here. Hide that right in, curl it, put the rest of that pipe cleaner. Just do exactly what I did for the sign. Okay? Now, we're not done. 2 more things. Woo! Just took my light apart. 2 more things. Okay, I'm going to fluff my bow. Make sure my bow is in place the way I want it to. So those long pieces coming out, either out towards the edge or straight down, whichever you prefer. And then I'm going to bring in cute, 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 cute. Y'all, I hope this video taught you something, helped you with your wreath making. I hope that you've subscribed and are following us. Where's my scissors? Are following us so that you can watch more of me who forgets my words and all that stuff. I'm just going to cut this one here just a little bit too. There we go. Make it. Oh, this is so cute. Very cute. The last thing I'm going to do is make sure I go around to the whole thing and now place all my ribbons. I want to make sure no one's hiding. I can see them all. The pattern stayed the same. I didn't wreck that, right? Keeping all those polka dot purple boots. Polka dot purple boots, right? That sounds like it should be the name of the song. Polka dot purple boots. Okay, all coming out towards the edge. Doing exactly what I want it to do. Staying in place. Now, if you're selling your wreaths, this part is important. You want to make sure that what goes on the door for your final product picture looks the best, looks the most perfect, looks the you know, the most in place. I know that once you get it home and it's on your door, especially if you're using that door, if your customer's using that door, the suction from the door opening and closing is going to move these around. I get it, I know, but at least for the perfect picture for your sale, for your Etsy, for your wherever you're selling your wreaths, at least you want that. Look at how perfect that is. At least you want that. Let me zoom you out. Sorry about that. At least you want that first video. Don't mind my mess. It's fine. I've been busy today. You want that first video. Look at how cute that is. That is adorable. Now, y'all, that is really cute. That is so cute. You can do this. I know it's, you know, the first time you start, you do something might always feel like the most clunky, feel like the most, you know, like you can't do it. I promise. If you've purchased this as a kit, you know, definitely use a piece of this extra as your practice, and practice a couple of times. Even practice putting it on the frame. You don't have to use that piece. Put it in the garbage, right? Put it in the garbage. It's fine. It's totally fine. But use it for practice so that you can kind of get the feel for the ruffles, etc. I know you can do it because I know you can do it. If I taught my 9-year-old daughter how to make these, and she makes them pretty good now, I know that you can with a little practice. So have a little faith in yourself. Again, if you purchased this as a kit, thank you very much. If you just watched, just to hang out and watch and learn something new, thank you very much. Don't forget to go to learnfrommelissa.com. You'll find it in the description of this video. Learnfrommelissa.com to find a list of all of our links. Some free videos, links to all of our social medias, our phone number, how to contact us, more information on the coaching group and our classes that we have available to take. So much information there. I'm very happy to have you here watching the videos. I just want to make sure you knew of that list of things to help you nice and neat and easy to navigate through. I hope you're having a really good day. I hope you're subscribed and following us so that we can see you again soon. And hopefully it won't be too long. I'll see you again. Bye, y'all.